Hi, my name is Laura and I want to tell you how my cousin only realized she was pregnant when her water broke and she had to give birth. I know it looks weird, you're probably wondering. Her belly wasn't showing or anything? Not because she was close to 500 pounds and it was pretty hard for her to realize that she was carrying a pregnancy in her womb. Stay with me until the end to find out everything that happened. My cousin Audria has had weight problems since she was little. Her parents took her to all kinds of nutritionists. She followed all kinds of diets. She went to the gym, but she just couldn't lose weight. And not only that, every time she gained more and more weight. And not because of the food, but because of the fact that she had many hormonal problems. That's why she also had problems with her period in her teens. That's why she didn't realize when she got pregnant. I remember very well that she was in her last year of high school when she started dating a boy. Everything seemed to be fine. She was very much in love, but the guy made fun of her. And since then her weight went crazy and she started losing even more control. In a very short time she had reached almost 500 pounds. She was also very tall, somewhere around 1m90, so don't think that the weight was extremely visible or that she couldn't move and things like that. But it was enough that she didn't realize that she was pregnant. I was her best friend. And I always was, because you know very well that in our country when you have problems with extra pounds you don't really manage to make friends because most people judge and avoid people who have extra pounds. I never had a problem with it. On the contrary, I understood what she was going through and I knew it wasn't her fault, and I say this because many times I ate more than her and I barely exceed 100 pounds. Finally, the idea is that she broke up with that boy and she started to suffer a lot and feel sick. She had nausea and all kinds of dizziness. I insisted several times to go to the doctor because I saw that something strange is happening to her. She was eating almost nothing but gaining weight. She, of course, refused to go to any doctor because she was convinced that everything that was happening to her was because of that breakup and that it would eventually get over her. Months passed. She put on weight and gave a sign that something was happening, but no one realized that it was a pregnancy. Not even her, because due to hormonal problems she had different problems, like the fact that her period came very rarely anyway. One summer day we were both at grandma's in the yard, and suddenly I saw that something was leaking on her leg. And I thought at first that she had urinated on her, but she didn't know what was happening either, and suddenly she started to feel sick. Her stomach hurt, and everything was changing quickly and it was getting worse and worse, and that's when we decided to go to the hospital. At the hospital they took her to the emergency room. They asked us what was wrong with her, what happens. But we didn't know what to tell, and after consulting her they realized that she must give birth. We were all shocked because no one expected such a thing. Even the doctors were shocked that we didn't know she was expecting a child. Then my mother pulled me aside and started questioning me because she thought I knew that Audria was pregnant.
Did you know your cousin is pregnant? I find it outrageous that none of you said anything at all until the last moment. More than likely, you knew because you two are very close and tell each other anything. She trusted you to tell you. You should have told me. She shouldn't have hidden her pregnancy. I mean, anyway, in the end this thing would have happened. Anyway, we would have found out in the end. Why do we need to find out now? We could at least take care of her. We are not prepared for such a thing. That child is born today and we have nothing. I noticed that she kept gaining weight, so I thought that it was something normal for her. I didn't even think that it was a possible pregnancy, especially since she wears loose clothes. I didn't even realize the shape of her belly.
No, Mother, I knew absolutely nothing. Yes, Audria tells me everything, but she didn't even know. I mean, what I told the doctors is true. We really didn't know about this pregnancy. You know very well that Audria doesn't have her period due to her hormonal problems, or it comes very rarely. So she had no way of realizing this, and her belly has grown. But you couldn't tell if it was from the extra weight or from a pregnancy. That is, she didn't know either. She still felt sick, but she went through a breakup and we thought that would be the reasons. No way we thought about a pregnancy. I don't even know what happened between her and her boyfriend. I never even thought about it. So don't blame me. I'll try to talk to her. Maybe she still suspected. Although I don't think so, because she would have told me. I don't think she would have gone through all this alone.
OMG, I don't even want to think how her parents will react when they return to the country. They will be extremely disappointed. I just hope they doesn't blame me for not paying attention to her. But how was I supposed to know? So she will raise the child alone? If you said they broke up, that's what I think. Look, I don't even know anything about her. I didn't know that she broke up, that she was dating someone. I didn't know anything. What is happening with today's youth? We brought a child into the world only after forming a family, but what is happening today is sad.
Leave this, mother. It happened before, only you didn't know that there wasn't so much news and you don't see these things on the internet like you see them now. Now the question is, what do we do? Because we are not ready for the baby's arrival. We didn't buy anything at all. And she most likely doesn't know anything about how to take care of a baby. At least she was informed in advance. It will be very difficult for her, and I am extremely afraid of her reaction. I don't even want to imagine what she's going through right now. After giving birth, Audrey went into shock, and I'm not kidding, she just didn't realize and accept the fact that she gave birth to a child, and that she has a child and that she is a mother. I mean, this whole thing is very hard to process, and I understood that. I tried to talk to her and find out if she really didn't know, but I realized from the first moment, after her reaction, that she really had no idea that she was pregnant. The doctors told me that such cases still happen, especially in overweight people, but less often. When we arrived home with the child, both me and my mother tried to manage the situation. As I said, Audrey was in a bad state. She didn't seem able to take care of her child at that moment, so I stayed longer with him and my mother, until her parents came home and took care of everything. I was lucky with my mother who knew how to take care of a child, because if it was just me and Audrey, I couldn't face it. In the end, Audrey recovered and assumed the role of mother. It was the case after all. She also tried to talk to the child's father, but there was no chance for him to recognize that child and take care of him. I tried to be by her side and help her with everything I could, but it's not easy to be a mother when you're not ready to be. That is, the 9 months of pregnancy really help you, I guess, to prepare yourself mentally for the fact that you will become a mother and you will have some responsibilities. But how Audrey woke up with that child without knowing it, it was hard, and even to this day she cannot say that she is a real mother. She still remained blocked that day. Take good care of yourself, and if you feel something, go to the doctor, because you never know. And I don't necessarily mean that it could be a pregnancy. It could be anything, and it's good to be aware of what's happening in your body.